Thank you for meeting with me. So, in the last call, we talked about our NDR solution. In this call, I'd like to talk about the XDR solution. So, our XDR solution is our extended detection and response tool. And so, not only can we detect threats in our network, but we can also start to remediate them. So, as we see, this is the XDR dashboard. Now, I'm here looking at the overview board. So there's a lot of really good information about um, attacks. And so here we use the Mitra attack matrix so we can kind of see how far along the Mitra attack these threats have evolved. We also have priority scores that we score 0 to 1,000. So the higher the score, the more urgent. And then if we can scroll down, we can see other useful information. This dashboard is completely customizable, so we can actually customize and decide what kind of things we want to show with the integrations that we have in place. Now, speaking of integrations, I did want to just highlight that we do have a lot of integrations with both Cisco products like Duo, Secure Access, Meraki, but we also have other integrations with third-party vendors such as um, right, such as Amazon, Amakai, CrowdStrike, Checkpoint, etc. So I wanted to make sure that those were highlighted. And now let's jump into the fun. So here under the incidents, I can start to look at incidents that I might be in particularly concerned about. So for example, I want to look up a CrowdStrike incident that I've heard about. And so here I can see that I do have some credentials that were credential dump tool that has taken place. And so by clicking on this link, I can see more information. So, like I said, again, we'll see the Mitra attack matrix, and we can see that we're all the way under credential access. So it's pretty well developed attack with a priority score, a lot of good information, a summary and description of the events that took place on November 15th. And here we can see the assets that were affected. So quite a bit of assets and events that were alerted to me. Now, under the last little bit here, this blue box at the bottom, this is our incident detail. And so here is where we can actually start to see this incident displayed in a visual diagram of the maybe the file that took place as well as some of the assets that have been affected by it. Now, these tabs under here, detection, response, work log, and report, we're going to want to go down each and one of these in order to start the actual remediation process. So under the detection tool is where we'll see all of the events, and we can see that all of the events have been alerted to us via CrowdStrike. And so that would be the source. Now, I mentioned earlier we have integrations with other third-party providers as well as Cisco products. So the source could come from many sources or a single source in this case. And then the severity score. So we can look at, critical or low. And so we can kind of use this to filter through the events and understand if this is something that needs to be remediated. Now, this seems of high concern. And so let's go ahead and go into the response phase and see what we can do about it. Okay. Under the response, we can try to identify some of the affected hosts. And so I've actually already went ahead and executed the isolation of the affected hosts. So we'll see that in the work log. But another thing I can do is I did happen to see that there was a file hash that was malicious, and so I can go ahead and hit execute here, and now I can take action on this hash that appears to be malicious and go ahead and execute. So while that hash is being isolated, I can continue to go down our list. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be any vulnerabilities But if there were, I might actually move into the recovery stage where I might look at re-imaged hosts and look at other vulnerabilities, and the remediation of those is also important when we're looking at threats. Okay. Finally, like I said, we can go through the work log and kind of start to understand that I did isolate those hashes. I can see the workflow states that there were other assets that were already isolated earlier today. And finally, if I want to have a report of all the actions that have been taken to remediate this malicious attack, I can also go under here and you know edit the report or export the report. Okay, I hope that gave you a good idea of our XDR product and some of the capabilities that are available. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.